Good morning, Tottenham fans. In today's video, I want to talk about Thomas Frank's first season. What would have to happen for us to say it was a fantastic first season for him? What would have to happen for us to just say, well, it was average, but okay, he deserves a second season? And what would have to happen for us to say, you know what, he's not our guy and we're going to have to change managers yet again? So I'm going to go through all these scenarios today in this video. But if you're new here, please smash that subscribe button and please hit that like. It really gets this channel shown across the world and helps me grow. Really appreciate it. Now, into the video. So what would have to happen for us to say, wow, Thomas Frank has had a fantastic first season? I'm going to try and be as realistic as possible. I know I'm quite a positive guy, but I'll try not to be too much of a happy clapper today. So what would be a good season? So for me, I'd say in his first season, if we have to say this is a fantastic first season, if Frank builds on last season and wins a trophy again. Now, let's say he wins an FA Cup. In his first season for us, he wins an FA Cup, which means if he does that, he would be qualifying for the Europa League as well, which is another great thing because we could go into next season looking to try and win that. Finish 6th in the league, so improved massively from 17th place. So he's gone on to win a trophy, but not only that, he's improved us in the league as well. For me, that would be fantastic. Also, if he got us out of the league phase in the Champions League and we went out in the last 16, I'd still see that was a massive achievement considering you've won a trophy and finished 6th. That's quite a really good consistency, to be honest. So for me, I'd sit back and go, you know what, we couldn't have asked for much more from Frank. He's won an FA Cup, he's qualified us for Europe, he's finished us in 6th place in the league. The players have developed. Tell looks better now, Odegaard looks better, the players look better than they were last season, and younger players are coming through and looking more established. We couldn't ask for much more than that in Frank's first season, to be honest. And then everyone would soon forget about letting go of Ange, even though I will never forget what he's done for us ever, as he is always going to be a legend in my eyes. Okay, so what would happen if, I don't know, we see like an average season from Thomas Frank? So an average season would be like, I don't know, progression in some players, progression in the team, slowly putting things together. We can see that Frank's building on something and he's doing okay in the league. Some academy players coming through and looking pretty decent. Frank developing the players. But let's say we finished 8th in the league. We didn't win a trophy, but we got to like a semi-final of a League Cup, and that was it. So we're not finishing 17th, we finished 8th, we didn't win a trophy, but we got close, we got to a semi-final. For me, that would be an average season. It wouldn't be a fantastic season. It wouldn't make me want to sack him if I saw progression in some players and progression in the team. It would just make me think, you know, we can't keep finishing 8th, but he deserves a second season, because at the end of the day, I don't want to keep sacking managers, so I would still back him for the second season. So what would make me not want to back him for the second season? What would be an awful season for Thomas Frank? Now, it would have to be pretty bad for me to say get rid of him, because, you know, like I said, we can't keep sacking. We need to back somebody, you know. We need to back someone to build something for this. And for me, Ange has built something, a foundation. And what Frank's job is to do now is to build on that and progress us forward. Now, if, let's say, next season we finish 12th, didn't get anywhere near any of the trophies, went out of the Champions League in the league phase, hardly won any of those games, and got embarrassed by a couple of big teams like Barcelona or Bayern Munich or Real Madrid, and we had poor defeats in the league against, we carried on losing to Chelsea away, Arsenal away, Liverpool away, and we just saw regression in the team, and it would be very underwhelming to have that kind of season with no trophy, looking like we're going backwards, players getting worse. That would be me saying, you know what, we shouldn't have sacked Ange. Even though Ange had a horrendous injury record, he still won us a trophy. We'd have to put context on what's happening, but it would be very underwhelming if we finished 12th or below, didn't get anywhere near a trophy, and there wasn't much progression in play, and we got poor defeats, bad defeats as well. It would make me seriously think: is Frank good enough? Because you know what the narratives will be. He's never won anything in his career. He's always managed mid-table Brentford. That's his level. I can already hear what everyone's going to say. It's probably pre-planned already in some of their videos, but all of this would still have to be put into context, because I put everything into context for Ange, and I'll do the same for Frank as well. If we had injuries galore, if we had really poor amount of injuries, and he for some reason couldn't cope with that amount of injuries, which I don't think any manager could cope with the amount of injuries that Ange had. The Champions League draw was horrendous. We had like PSG, Real Madrid, Liverpool, all the hardest teams, and then we got battered by every single one. You'd have to put context into their levels above us. That's probably why we're not winning these games. If we had poor luck, poor VAR decisions going against us time and time again, we'd have to put that into context for Frank as well. Maybe dominating matches but still losing because we're not putting away our chances. Many things can go wrong in football. Ange had horrendous luck last season but still got a trophy. So whatever Frank does now, there's going to be so much pressure on him to do something good because of what Ange achieved. Even against the odds, he still achieved a big European trophy. A dream season would obviously be winning the Premier League and Champions League, but I'm not going to go that far yet because it's heading towards unthinkable. You can't really expect Spurs to even dream about doing that at the moment. It's Frank's first season. He's still building on last season, what Ange started, so I can't really fathom even thinking about winning something that big just yet. I'm a positive person and anything's possible, I suppose, but I'm not going to go down that road. So fantastic season for me. If we won an FA Cup, we've finished 6th in the league, we've got Europa League football next season. Maybe we beat Chelsea away, Arsenal away as well in that same season. It'd put a massive good vibe behind Thomas Frank. It would make us excited for season 2. We could ask him whether he always wins things in his second season. It could be a fantastic season next season. It could be average. It could be poor. What kind of season, I'll ask you guys, what kind of season would Frank have to have for you to say, that's enough, I don't want him at my club? Because we have to treat every manager the same. Like Ange got so much abuse last season for having a poor season. Is Frank going to get the same treatment as Ange did? And what if Frank hardly had any injuries but still finished 12th? Would that be good enough for you? I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying these are just scenarios. These are just hypothetical scenarios. What if Frank had a fantastic season next season and he won the FA Cup, like I said, finished 6th, maybe even finished 4th and qualified for the Champions League, but then a team like Real Madrid won him? And then we're saying, we've got a manager that finally does really well, but now they're trying to tout him and get him off our books. But it's really hard to judge a season anyway, because we don't know what players we're going to sign yet. We don't know what the younger players are going to be like. We don't know what the players that came in January are going to be like. Tell and Dancer, are they going to develop? Bergvall started developing towards the end. He could be outstanding next season. I got a feeling Tell's going to explode next season as well. So lots of things could happen. But for me, if we finish in the top 6, won an FA Cup next season, that's probably the highest level we could probably get to, and I'd be more than happy if we did. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and come on, you Spurs.